They figured out a way to come back, and they're winning games a lot of different ways right now, and that's important. They're winning games when they're getting behind. They're winning games late in the game. They had to go into extra innings in a game in Frisco, Texas, and then they're out slugging teams when they need to. So I think that's important. You're going to have to learn to win a lot of different games in the SEC, and of course that's next weekend right upon us.
Well, you mentioned that they've been able to find ways to win in different ways. Taking a look at tonight's recipe for success, brought to you by BRQ Seafood and Barbecue, official catering service of LSU Athletics. From what you've seen, Buzzy, what has been the recipe overall for this team? What do you like about this year's Tigers?
Well, when they play well is when they pitch it well and play good defense. We know, look, they've got guys in the lineup that have hit it well early. They're starting to show a little power, but I think it starts with defense and pitching. And the games that they've struggled, they're walking too many guys, they're putting too many free passes, and then they're not making the routine play when they get the opportunity. A lot of times we try to overcomplicate the game of baseball. Throw strikes as a pitcher. When you get the ball hit to you as an
it's coming through the door. Well, 6:30 start on a Friday. Now we'll see Jonathan Lane step in. Lane in his 4th season with the Lions, a right-handed hitter, and swing and a miss on the first pitch, and we are underway. Time of first pitch, 6:34 here on this Friday night. 0-1, Anderson works ahead. 15 2/3 worth of innings so far for Anderson in the starts, as that one slides outside. Evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. 26 strikeouts, just 6 walks given up. Again, a 2.30 ERA. 1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch to the plate. That's on the inside corner and gets Anderson ahead. Off-speed pitch there, nasty. Lane let it go and then realized it caught the inside corner. It's 1-2.
Yeah, that's that good slider that Cade Anderson likes to throw. 1-2. You may pitches, you should say. It's a curveball and a slider. The curveball is going to be a little less velocity. That was it. That was more 77, 78 miles an hour. That slider will be more 83 to 85 miles an hour.
So a left-hander stands in Rippon, and the first pitch from Anderson. He swings for the fences, but a fastball gets by him at 91 miles an hour, and it's 0-1. Prior to heading to North Alabama, Rippon started his career at Wallace State Community College there in Alabama. There's a nasty breaking ball that dropped off the table. A swing and a miss, nowhere close with Rippon, and it's 0-2. Had him really off balance with that second delivery. Rippon on the season, batting .211. The delivery, outside corner, called strike with a breaking ball. Second strikeout in as many batters he has faced. 2 gone here in the top of the first inning. Pretty good start, I would say, there for Cade Anderson.
Yeah, that's a heck of a start, and you like to see him having control of all his pitches early in the game, and he went with the slider on that pitch. The previous hitter, he went with the more of the curveball, the slower breaking pitch, and so he's got everything working through the first 2 batters. That's exciting for LSU.
Matthew Delgado stands in, a senior batting .286, and the right-hander swings at the first pitch. A 2-bouncer to shortstop. Milam pumps, fires the first in time for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down, the start for the Lions here. We played a half inning at the box, no score. LSU will come to the plate for the first time tonight. Again, it will be Curiel, Jones, and Dickinson. Will continue from the box after this. The championship health partner. Together, LSU and Our Lady of the Lake, champions for Louisiana. Together we roar. Learn more at olrmc.com/LSU. We head to the bottom of the first inning. No score. Great start by Cade Anderson. Pretty good defense behind him. He had 2 strikeouts to start the game, and then a ground ball out to Milam at short. And the Lions, quick work there in the top of the first inning. Derek Curiel has been taking care of business at the plate. Freshman phenom from California, off to a incredible start. And over the last couple of weeks, Buzzy, since we've seen the debut of Curiel, I've heard multiple comparisons to a slew of former LSU players. I may ask you as the night goes on who you would most compare it to, but one thing is for sure, Derek Curiel is ready for prime time. At least up to this point, he has been phenomenal, batting .449. The left-hander digs in as Bryson Parrish, the big right-hander, ready to deliver. First pitch, missing upstairs with a fastball, and it's 1-0.
Yeah, well, it's always impressive to see guys hit over 400. It's even more impressive when the guy's a freshman.
1-0 to Curiel. Missed inside at the knees. Again with another fastball, and it's 2-0.
Curiel, during the Tigers' 8-game win streak, hitting .481.
Here's the 2-0 delivery. Curiel lets it go, and it just missed outside. And quickly 3 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, he's just a perfect leadoff hitter, too. You see this a lot. He gets to a 3-0 count, makes the pitchers work.
3-0 missed inside, so 4 pitches, and Curiel, the leadoff man, aboard for LSU. So another base on balls for Curiel. That's his 17th of the season. And one of the things that, again, regardless of who you want to compare him to, I think what Curiel's been able to do, at least from my vantage point, watching him here at the park as well as when I've seen the games on television, his ability to speed the game down. It'll be interesting to see his transition into SEC play. I certainly understand the competition will step up there, but he seems to not fret, really in control and highly confident whether he's in the field or at the plate. That'll bring Jared Jones. Here's a confident young man, and the first pitch sails outside to the right-handed hitter, and it's 1-0. So 4 straight. Check that, 5 straight balls now offered up by Bryson Parrish as he gets started here in the bottom of the first inning. Curiel, 3-step lead off of first. The pitch to Jones. Breaking ball misses down and away, and it's 2 balls, no strikes. Defensively, again for the Lions at third base, Bryant Loving, Leighton Jenkins at short, Jonathan Lane at second, Petey Kraska down the line at first base. It's R.J. Sherwood, Alex Wilson, Alex Wade left to right in the outfield. The 2-0 to Bear. Sends one high in the air to center field. Hangs up, though, and Alex Wilson in center will come in a few steps. Straightaway center and makes the play for out number 1. Curiel scampers his way back to first base, 1 down.
Yeah, that's a situation where Jared Jones, we know all the power he has. You don't want him to take a pitch if it's right down the heart, but Parrish is a little bit on the fence there, of maybe getting out of control and walking us a couple times, and Jared Jones takes a pitch, just misses it. But that's a couple ways of thinking about that, Chris. You either take till you get a strike, or you wait for a good pitch and drive it, and he just missed it.
So now we'll see Daniel Dickinson, right-hander, stand in. First delivery again missed off the outside corner, as it appears early on. Bryson Parrish, at least with the fastball, Buzzy, trying to live on the corners, so far has not gotten the benefit of the call from our home plate umpire, Brian Hell. We'll see who adjusts first. Runner at first, 1 down, no score. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball outside. Now 2 balls, no strikes. That one nowhere close to Dickinson, who again batting .391 on the season. Hitting .441 with runners on base. One of the things Coach Johnson said he really has been proud of his team, even in their comeback wins after they've gotten down early, is performing with runners on base and in scoring position so far this year. This one again misses outside as Parrish continues to struggle finding the zone. It's now 3-0 to Dickinson.
Yeah, well, Parrish coming into the game had 17 innings pitched. He did have 8 walks. So a guy that will walk in, as North Alabama's catcher, Delgado, will go out and have a little conversation. Looks like pitching coach as well there, Chris.
Yeah, David Mervis, the pitching coach, going to trot out there as well. Just check on Parrish a little bit, try to work on that control, get him to fire strikes. Again, already giving up the leadoff walk to Curiel. Got the pop out by Jones to center field. And shallow center. Now Dickinson looking at a 3-0 count.
Well, he threw 6 straight balls, and that's kind of the point I was making with Jones. Is obviously Jones probably will never have the take in his life, and I understand why. He's a heck of a hitter, but I think Parrish is on the verge of possibly a big inning if you just let him walk. Because you've got to make him prove himself that he can throw strikes, and so far he hasn't. Really, the one strike he threw was to Jones, and he flew out to center field. So 3-0 here, you would think Dickinson would be taking.
So we'll see. Is pitching coach back in the dugout. The 3-0 delivery at the letters, called strike. 90-mile-an-hour heater, and it's 3-1. So now Dickinson will regrip, dig back in from the right side with a hitter's count 3-1. No score, bottom of the first inning, 1 out. Runner at first base for the Tigers. Parrish fires, squaring to bunt, but unable to make contact is Dickinson, and that'll fill the count now 3-2. Fans join MMR, largest privately owned open shop electrical and instrumentation contractor in the nation, and a proud partner of LSU athletics. Again, just a slight breeze. Flags moving a little bit right to left. 7 to 8 mile an hour wind gusts. Here's a swing into shallow right field. Giving chase is Wade on the run, and it comes off the glove of Jonathan Lane, the second baseman, who sailed out into shallow right. Could not hold on to it. He had his arms outstretched, Buzzy, running at full speed. I think he did make contact, but could not glove it cleanly. It drops into shallow right field. Everybody's safe, and with one out, LSU has runners first and second.
Yeah, it was an interesting play because if Curriell's not stealing and the second baseman's just playing his normal position, that is a easy pop-up to catch. But because the second baseman Lane was working to second base, it was kind of hitting no man's land, and the only guy that could have caught it was the second baseman Lane. He was on a dead sprint and just couldn't get there in time, or got there in time, just couldn't squeeze it.
So now we'll see Josh Pearson come to the plate. Again, just one out. Runners first and second. Pearson the DH tonight. Pitch to the veteran left-hander. Inside, brushes him off the plate slightly, and it's 1-0. Pearson batting .310. .333 over this 8-game win streak for the Tigers. Again, making it difficult for Jay Johnson to keep him out of the lineup at some point. This pitch a little high and inside makes it 2-0 now to Pearson.
Well, Pearson been around a long time here at LSU. Seen a lot of baseball, a lot of at-bats, and he had a heck of a weekend in Frisco, Texas. He was named the most outstanding player for the tournament in Texas.
2-0 pitch. Pearson slaps this one down the line in right, and this one is going to be just foul. Right of the foul pole. Making 2 balls and 1 strike. It's interesting when you talk about Josh Pearson again electing to come back for this final year, get a chance to play with his younger brother Josh, which according to them haven't happened a lot, even though both of them grew up with their father and playing baseball. But Pearson understands over the last 2 years he's played with a talented group of players. He knows what it takes to go out and compete every day. Everything the coaches are looking for to give you those at-bats and innings in the field. And I think Josh has made the most of it, as I said, right now on a hot streak, not allowing anybody to pull him out of the lineup. Here's the 2-1 to Pearson, and a foul cut into the backstop. That'll leave in the count 2-2.
Well, Jay Johnson's talked about it a lot. He is normally a big part of some type of success over the last few years. When they've needed a big hit or when a big moment was there, Josh Pearson was in the middle of it, and that's the experience you can't replicate in practice. You have to have that experience in game-like situations, much like a situation here with runners on base.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Pearson, who called for time, granted time by our home plate umpire. Again, Curriell led off with a 4-pitch walk. He's down at second base. Dickinson had the bloop single into shallow right. 1 down, runners first and second, the 2-2 to Pearson. Called strike 3. That one at the letters, got the inner half. Pearson down on strikes. That will record the second out of the inning, and will bring Stephen Milam, highly heralded shortstop for the Tigers, who will bat from the left side, batting .370 on the year. This is where Milam really, I think, made a name for himself a year ago, Buzzy, and that was certainly down the stretch. Final couple of weeks in SEC play, certainly into the postseason, delivering when ducks are on the pond, so to speak. We'll see here with 2 outs, runners first and second. The pitch, same pitch to Pearson, only this time with a fastball, but same location, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, you're so right, Chris. I remember last year it seemed like that SEC tournament and that regional when they went to Chapel Hill to play the North Carolina regional, how many big hits did he get during those 10-game stretch they played?
The 0-1 down the line, but foul in the left. It will jump into the seats out of play, and it's 0-2.
Tip your hat to Parrish to the at-bat before to Pearson. He actually went with the cutter. He throws a slider and a cutter. That cutter is going to be more the 85, 86 miles an hour. Slider will obviously be a little slower, but he threw that cutter to Josh Pearson, got right underneath his hands and froze him.
0-2 the count to Milam. Chokes up on the bat. Here's the 2-strike approach, and this pitch way upstairs. Heater got loose out of the grip of Parrish, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, pitchers, when they get to 2 strikes, they'll want to change the eye level of the hitter. He wanted to throw that fastball. He went a little too high to Milam. You want to get that more around the chin area, right at the eye level.
The 1-2. Milam fights this one off, sends a foul down the line and left once again, just beyond the new Lowe's seating, with the left field bullpen for the visitors. 1 ball, 2 strikes again to Milam. Should he arrive safely, Jake Brown stands on deck. Pretty good 1-2 punch there in the lineup in the 5 and 6 in the order here for Coach Jay Johnson. They've been off to great starts, both sophomore. Here's the 1-2. Milam stays away again. That one a little better with location. He tried to elevate the fastball, but Milam with a better look stays away, and it's 2-2.
Well, then pitchers, again, they like to get it up at that eye level because as a hitter, it looks like you can get to that pitch, but even at 90, 91, it's really hard to get to, much less if you got a guy who can get the velocity up to 94, 95, almost impossible.
Deuce is wild. Here's a swing, high chopper. Nice short hop handle by Jenkins at shortstop for the Lions. And he throws easily to Kraska at first base for out number 3. The Tigers, no runs, 1 hit. They leave 2 men on. We've played a full inning here at the box, no score. North Alabama coming to the plate, 4, 5, and 6 due up. Kraska, Wilson, and Scher. Game 1, North Alabama and LSU. Cade Anderson continues his work on the mound. He'll face Petey Kraska, the first baseman for the Lions, and the first pitch from Anderson down in the dirt, and it is 1-0. Tigers with a small threat there in the bottom half of the first inning. Pretty good job by Griffin Parrish, I should say, the starting pitcher after a shaky start. As this one's fouled back out of play, and it evens the count 1-1.
Yeah, timely hitting. Tigers had runner in scoring position in the first inning. Their one loss of the year to Omaha, Chris, that was really their downfall. They couldn't get the big hit with guys in scoring position, the timely hit.
This time the breaking ball missed inside. Kraska looked at the home plate umpire, tried to lobby that it touched him on the wrist. Home plate umpire Brian Hale not buying, and it's 2-1 now to Kraska, who started his career in Atlanta, Georgia Tech. The redshirt freshman fouls it back into the screen. That'll even the count 2-2. Petey hails from Gibsonia, Pennsylvania. And the pitch to the left-hander just a little low. That'll fill the count now, 3-2. Payoff delivery from Anderson, a ground ball towards the second baseman Dickinson, who slides slightly to his right, handles it glove side, throws to first in time, and there's one away.
Another good job of Anderson. Kraska gets it to 3-2, but Anderson doesn't give in, goes right after him, pitches to contact, and I always talk about, a lot of times I think pitchers try to get too perfect and make too good a pitch. When you get 3-2, make a quality pitch, get it over the plate, and let the hitter try to hit his way on.
Alex Wilson stands in, swings at the first pitch, just a little pop fly into shallow left field. Milam coming over, made the call quickly and gets to it in time for the second out of the inning. So Anderson, after getting the full count on the first at bat, able to get 1 pitch and a second out here against Wilson. So with 2 down, that will bring R.J. Sherwood to the plate for the Lions. Another right-hander, Anderson delivers. Missed inside under the hands, and it's 1-0. Sherwood hails from Canton, Michigan. This time the fastball in for a strike at 94 from Anderson. Right there again. Just missed on that first pitch. This one right on the corner. It's 1-1.
Yeah, that velocity good too. In that first inning, Anderson was 91 miles an hour at 92 here and there, but this one up to 94.
1-1. Strike at the knees right at 94 again, and he gets him ahead 1-2. Sherwood transferring into North Alabama after several seasons at Youngstown State. Anderson again trying to go at the kneecaps and just misses off speed, and it's 2-2.
That was a heck of a pitch one, too. I don't know how Sherwood was able to lay off. Ball that caught a lot of the plate just down in the zone. It was a good take and was down, but a really good pitch.
Anderson's 2-2, lifted foul and out of play right side. Jones will give it a look, but it's out of play. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fans scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers, and cocktails. Find your nearest location or order online in the app. It's Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win. Nobody on, 2 out, scoreless here, top of the second inning. Sherwood awaits the pitch from Anderson. This one rifled a base hit into left field. Good piece of hitting by Sherwood there. Able to get the first knock against Anderson. And a 2-out single has a runner aboard for the first time tonight early on here for the Lions.
A good at bat by Sherwood. We mentioned he took the pitch down in the zone, but he took this, I believe that was a changeup at 82 miles an hour, just up in the zone. When that changeup stays up, those hitters can get to that pitch. You got to keep that thing down at the knees. But again, Sherwood with a good piece of hitting, good at bat.
Alex Wade now will bat for the first time with 2 outs, a runner on, and Anderson, the lefty, going to throw over and keep an eye on the base runner. He slides back safely in Sherwood. North Alabama, not a huge stealing team. Got a handful of players in the lineup tonight with some stolen bases. There's a strike off speed to make it 0-1 to Alex Wade. Redshirt sophomore out of Decatur, Alabama. So the first base runner of the night for the Lions with 2 down. The 0-1 sails upstairs and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Chris, Cade Anderson in the scouting report, fastball, curveball, slider, changeup, 4 pitches. A lot of times you'll see guys have that on the scouting report. You don't see them throw it a whole lot in the game. He's thrown all 4 in the game and has been throwing it for strikes, which is impressive.
1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch to Wade. Hammered foul back into the screen, right side. That'll get Anderson ahead in the countdown. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Doug and I talk about it all the time. If you can't throw all the pitches you say you have for strikes 7 out of 10 times, then really no point in calling it. But Anderson seems to have great control over all of them early in this game.
2 outs, runner at first. Beautiful breaking ball across the plate. Froze him up. Wade down on strikes. 3rd punch out for Cade Anderson, and that'll do it for the Lions here in the top of the 2nd inning. They get no runs, 1 hit, they leave 1 man on. Still scoreless. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. Jack here at the box. LSU comes to the plate, bottom of the 2nd inning, still no score. Cade Anderson off to a great start. He's relinquished just 1 hit, has 3 strikeouts as well. As Bryson Parrish out for his 2nd inning of work in a starting role for the Lions. First pitch to Jake Brown. Batting for the first time tonight, a called strike, and it's 0-1. The 0-1 to Brown. Loaded the bat, but stayed back as it missed low and inside, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Brown, another freshman that really got stronger as the year went along last year. Brown off to a good start, batting .343 so far in the early going in 2025. Lets that one miss outside and high. Now 2-1 to Brown. It's Brown, Hernandez, and Reeves. 6, 7, and 8 due up here for the Tigers. Parrish, the 2-1 pitch, and it's lifted foul back behind us and out of play, and it's now 2-2.
Yeah, the guys last year that really hit late in the year, it was Larson, it was Brown, Braswell, and Milam really came on late, and that's where LSU had their success. You heard Coach Jay Johnson, he talked about he was so disappointed that they couldn't get out of that regional because he thought they were playing so great at that time.
Just missed outside. Good take that time by Brown. That'll fill the count now, 3-2. Brown with 3 doubles so far on the season to go along with 5 runs batted in. Payoff pitch from Parrish. That was a nasty one. Breaking ball broke in at the hands. Brown with no swing, down on strikes, and Parrish again started the game 5 straight balls after walking the leadoff hitter, but now records his 2nd strikeout, 1 away. We'll see Luis Hernandez, the Tiger catcher.
Well, Parrish may be starting to settle in a little bit. That was an off-speed pitch, as you mentioned, Chris. 3-2. That takes some guts to do that, and threw it right over the heart of the plate.
Pitch to Hernandez. Big swing, lifted foul. First base territory. Kraska coming in. The catcher Delgado with room. But it comes back in on him. He falls down. He can't hold on. Hit the bottom of the mitt, but he could not squeeze it. That will allow Hernandez to stay alive and swing again. It's an 0-1 count.
Yeah, always going to be a tough play for the catcher. They've got a different glove than everyone else, and you want that glove when you're catching a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, but it makes it difficult on pop-ups when that ball's moving around. You're trying to get underneath it. Really, if a first baseman can get to that ball, that's a lot easier play for a corner infielder.
The 0-1 Hernandez, hammered but foul down the line and left. It'll catch the screen at the bullpen. And Hernandez falls behind 0-2. Again, there wasn't a lot of wind at the moment. There's a slight breeze, but on that first foul in the air, just kind of came back on Delgado, unable to make the play. There's a swing and a miss. He chased a slider outside. Hernandez down on strikes, and now there's 2 gone. It's amazing how pitchers, you learn over the years, Buzzy, not to take the first couple of pitches to heart. You love it when you come out there and you're throwing strikes, but that was not the case for Parrish tonight, but he settled in. I know it's still early on in the game, but now finding the strike zone after it eluded him early on in the first couple of at-bats. And there's a strike to Tanner Reeves, and it's 0-1.
Well, it's a guy who's had experience. He's pitched a lot over these last 4 years, and last year he had a 3.58 ERA, so he's had success. He knows how to pitch, and maybe just getting those jitters out here early in the game.
There's a strike at the knees, and now he works ahead of Reeves, 0-2. Tanner getting the start tonight at third base, the junior, batting .211 on the season. 2 outs, nobody on, and Parrish, the 0-2 pitch. Ground ball, going to be a base hit. Sneaks through the 4-hole by Jonathan Lane, and a 2-out single by Tanner Reeves. Keeps the inning going here for the Tigers.
Yeah, Tanner Reeves came in on the Tuesday game against North Dakota State. He had no hits, but he hit a couple balls really hard. One to right field, one to center field. Had some good at-bats and has been having good at-bats and gets to start tonight. That's going to be an interesting spot to watch, the third base spot with Michael Braswell. We know what he did last year. They both play really good defense. Reeves may have a little more power, but that'll be a good one to watch all year.
Throw over to first, almost got away from Parrish, but Kraska able to reach up and grab it as he kept an eye on Tanner Reeves. We'll see Stanfield at the plate, batting in the 9-hole tonight. 2 outs, runner at first. And another quick turn and throw. And again, just getting back is Tanner Reeves with a head-first slide. Stanfield, as I mentioned, batting .357, .353 so far this year with 2 outs in the inning. Parrish fires. And a nice pitch called strike off speed, and it's 0-1.
Parrish has got a good feel for that slider at the moment.
Been great watching Stanfield in the field at center field. There's a lot of fields there. Saw him do it for Auburn for a couple of seasons, as that one's down in the dirt. Blocked up nicely by Delgado, but it evens a count 1-1.
I can't remember what game it was, Chris, but he made a heck of a catch in that left center gap on a ball that didn't think anybody could get to.
Runner at first, the 1-1. Miss low. Fastball out of the zone by Parrish, and it's 2 balls, 1 strike. It covers a lot of real estate out there in center field and the alleys. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Again outside, but a great job by Delgado, who rises and slides to his right. Able to block it. Keep Reeves at first base. And make no mistake, Chris Stanfield's defense, along with his offense, but his defense certainly made an impression on Jay Johnson. A couple of matchups against Auburn. 3-1 the count to Stanfield with 2 outs and a runner at first. The runner goes. It's a ground ball just inside the third base bag. Mishandled by Loving. He had it in the glove, but on the exchange, he can't make the throw. Everybody's safe first and second, so Stanfield more than likely going to arrive here on a fielding error by the third baseman. Again, not particularly hit hard. It was right at Bryant Loving. And again, he was able to glove it. May have just started to come out of the glove, Buzzy, when he tried to make the exchange, or just a bad exchange altogether, but nonetheless could not elicit a throw, and Stanfield going to make that a tough play anyway with his speed down the first base line.
Well, they always say speed never goes into a slump, and that's the good thing about Stanfield is even if he's not seeing the ball well or hitting it great, if he puts the ball in play, he's going to put pressure on the defense.
Back to the top of the order, Curiel, who got aboard on a leadoff walk back in the first inning, takes the first pitch low and inside for ball 1. It's 1-0. So now the Tigers again, much like in the bottom of the first inning, semi-threat here, runners first and second, though 2 outs. Open stance by Curiel. The pitch to the left-hander again misses low, and it's now 2-0. Fans Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Louisiana, proud to be the official health insurance of LSU Athletics. Louisiana Blue. Live Louisiana. We got you. Opportunity here for the Tigers, albeit with 2 outs. Turn and throw back to second to check on Reeves, but a couple of steps, he's easily back on the bag.
So to answer your question earlier, Chris, I'm going to tell you, this was a guy before your time, and not many Tiger fans may know him, but Curriell's a little bit bigger than he was, but J.C. Holt back in the early 2000s is who Curriell reminds me of. Speed, center field, can play the outfield.
Pitch inside, brushes him off the plate, and it's now 3-0. And again, it was a straight 4-ball count to Curriell to start the bottom of the first inning. And right now, Parrish battling a 3-0 count for the highly heralded freshman, Derek Curriell from West Covina, California. Pitch is high and inside. He'll receive his second walk. That's going to load the bases now for LSU, and a big-time opportunity for Jared Jones, who comes to the plate. You can sense it and hear it from the crowd as they see the Bear leave the on-deck circle.
Yeah, Jones with 2 home runs in Wednesday night's 10-run rule over North Dakota State. And what Jones did so well, we were just talking about it. We had the great Skip Burtman up here. He talked about Tommy White, how he was so good at hitting the ball out of the ballpark the opposite way. And good power hitters can do that. Jared Jones, right on cue, hits the ball out to right field. He did that again in his second at-bat, so it was fun to watch.
First pitch to the Bear. Big swing, launched in the air, but again may have just gotten underneath it. Wilson coming over into left center. And the Lions center fielder makes the play for out number 2. So the Tigers get no runs, 1 hit. They leave 3 men on. 2 costly errors, but it didn't lead to top of the third inning coming your way. And no score. Kate Anderson fires the first delivery. First at bat of the night for Bryant Loving, the third baseman for the Lions of North Alabama. Swing and a miss way out in front, and it's 0-1. So far, Anderson tonight's given up 1 hit through his 2 innings of work. That one, not sure where it missed, not by much, but ruled ball 1. Evens the count to Loving now, 1-1. Anderson working quickly. Pitch inside, make it 2 balls and 1 strike. You mentioned, Buzzy, that Anderson may be one of the faster working pitchers consistently, although I will say LSU really doesn't have a lot of people who waste time on the mound as this pitch sails outside to make it 3-1. And you mentioned defense likes that. Again, there's not a whole lot of standing around. They pretty much break the stance for a few seconds and then right back into a defensive stance.
Well, with the new time clock, I mean, you got to be semi-quick these days, but he is really quick.
Swing and a miss. He fills the count now 3-2 to Loving, who comes into the game batting .214 on the season. Lefty on righty matchup here. The payoff pitch. Rares back. Fires the fastball at 94 and a called strike 3. Kate Anderson with his 4th punch out of the night. 1 gone here in the top of the 3rd.
Yeah, North Alabama came in as a team hitting .211, and when you're hitting as a team .211, you get to the 8-hole full count. You go with the old number 1. Kate Anderson reared back and split the middle of the plate, the inside part of the plate. That was a really good pitch, full count.
Leighton Jenkins out of Collinsville, Mississippi, a right-hander, stands in. With 1 down, Anderson, after laying down the bunt, it's going to hit the first base bag, and then a barehanded catch as it caroms straight up off the bag, and Jared Jones reaches up, grabs it, and records the second out of the inning. That one almost became disaster. It was a very well-hit bunt right down the first base line, started to tail to the right towards the bag and may have caught Buzzy just the front right corner of the first base bag, went straight up into the air. Jared Jones, again, didn't panic, just waited for it, grabbed it out of the air with a bare hand. Of course, the second out of the inning. And that will bring Jonathan Lane atop the order, who's 0 for 1, was a strikeout victim to Anderson to start the game. And the first pitch off speed, missing for ball 1, 1-0. Anderson's 1-0. Beautiful breaking pitch. And it's 1-1 as he finds the strike zone.
Yeah, in hindsight, Jones probably wish he would have charged it and caught that ball in front of the bag, but LSU got a lucky break with the ball bouncing right up to Jones, and he was standing on the bag when he caught it.
You mentioned right now Anderson using his entire repertoire of pitches. Missed on that fastball a little low, now 2-1. But boy, is he changing speeds very quickly. Comes back with a heater. It's a swing and a miss, and it's now 2-2.
Well, it's hard enough to hit a guy throwing 94 miles an hour. You mix in a few different pitches, it almost becomes impossible.
2 outs, the 2-2 staying alive with a foul into the screen. Again, Anderson comes right back with 3 straight fastballs, and Lane able to stay alive with the foul touch, and it's now still 2-2. Nobody on and 2 out. Scoreless game. Top of the third. Anderson fires. Little tapper, much more than a swinging bunt, charging in, and Reeves takes it on the short hop. But he was playing well behind the third base bag and wisely puts it in his pocket, doesn't force the throwing error. Let's credit Lane, who was really hustling up the first base line. He'll arrive safely with a 2-out infield single.
Yeah, Lane, the leadoff hitter, he can run as well. So that was going to be tough. Reeves could have been playing in on the grass, and I think it would have been a bang play at first. You said it best, Chris. Reeves was well back at third base. There was no chance, and actually a good job by Reeves of just putting the ball in his back pocket.
Now we'll see Nash Rippon again. The left-hander awaits. Anderson going to throw over to first and almost caught the runner in lane, napping him a little late, reacting to the move by Anderson, but able to just get back to the bag. Lane is one of the few Lions with the stolen base. In fact, he's 2 of 3 on the season. Anderson fires to the plate, and it's swing and a miss. Pitch just tailed away to the left-hander and missed under the bat, and it's 0-1.
Anderson's next pitch will be his 40th pitch of the night.
Again, Lane will take a 3-step lead off of first. Anderson fires to the plate, and it just missed the outer corner. Evens it up, 1 ball and 1 strike. Rippon caught looking his first time up. Anderson with 2 punch-outs there in the top of the first inning. So far, 4 on the night. And now Anderson, I think, asking for time, having some trouble maybe with the digital watch that relays the pitch calls from Nate Yeske and Jay Johnson, but appears to be all right. He gets a little extra time. They reset the pitch clock, and now the 1-1. First, another throw over. Lane barely off the bag, steps back easily, and it's still 1-1 to Nash Rippon.
We told you had the season high 10 strikeouts against Kansas State last Friday in Frisco, Texas. 13 is his career high. That was last year against Southeastern.
1-1, swing and a miss. Gets Anderson ahead 1-2. Anderson trying to get a lift here from the Tiger faithful. With 2 outs, a runner at first, no score. Another quick throw, and again, almost had Lane leaning, but he's able to get back with a head-first slide. Rippon now batting an even 200 on the year. Anderson's 1-2. Missed low, runner goes. Hernandez, I don't think saw him initially. Got a good jump lane in with a stolen base as the throw coming down late. That'll be the 3rd stolen base of the year for the speedster Jonathan Lane, and it gets the Lions their first runner in scoring position with 2 outs. So now Anderson going to try to dial in against Nash Rippon in a scoreless game to get the Tigers back in the dugout. Here's the 2-2 from Anderson. Breaking ball, but a foul bouncer down the third base line. Evens the count 2-2. Well, some chase thrills, others drive it. With the 2025 Tundra and Tacoma, adventures at every turn. Test drive at your local Toyota dealer. Visit Toyota.com today. Adventure, it's what we share. 2 outs, runner at second, scoreless game, top of the third. 2-2 count. Pitch to Rippon. Got him to chase upstairs with a high shelf fastball. 5th strikeout of the night for Anderson. And the smooth operator slowly makes his way to the dugout. So the Lions come away no runs, 1 hit. They leave 1 man on. We go to the bottom of the third. We head to the bottom of the third inning. Tigers so far, no runs, 2 hits. For the Lions of North Alabama, no runs, 2 hits, 2 errors in the field. Bryson Parrish begins his 3rd inning of work. So far giving up 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Dickinson leads it off, and the pitch misses away, 1-0. Daniel had the bloop single into shallow right field back in the 1st inning. Left stranded. 1-0 for Parrish. Little nubber ground ball to the shortstop. Going to be picked up And over to first, the throw by Jenkins in time to record a quick out number 1 here at the bottom of the third. Baseball fans, remember, SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the home run celebrations this season. So whether you're buying or selling baseball tickets, SeatGeek, the place to do it. SeatGeek, the official ticket marketplace of LSU athletics. Expect the expected. That's SeatGeek. Now time going to be called. Jay Johnson, after Josh Pearson made his way to the batter's box. He's going to call one of those offensive timeouts. Bring him over, talk it over with both Pearson, Milam, and now joining the party is Jake Brown. So they'll huddle up around the Tiger skipper here, talk it over with 1 out, nobody on, and a scoreless game.
Yeah, and Jay Johnson sees Parrish getting a little too comfortable out on that mound. A quick out here in the bottom of the third. You see Jay Johnson do this a lot over these last few years, called those offensive timeouts.
Serving 2 purposes. Slowing the pitcher down a little bit and just kind of going over the scenario with the hitters. So we'll see what Pearson decides to do here, again with 1 out. Got the third baseman Loving playing in just on the infield cut. Big swing and a bouncer foul down the first base line. Sets up Pearson 0-1.
I got to tell you, Chris, we bragged about Anderson, and he's got all control of all his pitches. Parrish has really done a good job of mixing and matching himself and throwing the cutter, the fastball, and the breaking pitch. And he's throwing them for strikes as well.
Time called there as they have to go all the way down into the corner beyond the low seating in right to pick up the foul baseball. 0-1 the count to Pearson. Pearson was caught looking at a pitch inside last time up. Good eye here. It's that one missing for ball 1, 1-1. Again, a great crowd on hand here for the opening game of this series. Plenty of folks out of the Community Coffee Diamond Deck in right as the 1-1 sails in low. Now 2-1 to Pearson. Grandstands for the most part full tonight. And a good group out there in the Bartlett Group left field landing. Two-one delivery to Pearson. That one a called strike. Evens the count 2-2.
Get more action too on LSU's campus. The LSU gymnastics team is taking on the Georgia Bulldogs over in the PMAC. So you're right, a good crowd knowing that gymnastics is going on too.
2-2, a good take by Pearson. That one just breaking a little inside and low to fill the count 3-2. Got a nice wave from our buddy Corey out there in the left field landing. Staple out there in left field. Payoff delivery. Pearson swings and it's hit back foul into the backstop.
Does Corey have the glove out there? Could you see? Or he abandoned it?
Oh, I gotta believe the glove somewhere nearby. Looks like they have several out there with gloves, just in case. For this team, good chance there may be a baseball coming your way out in the left field landing. And in the diamond deck and right, for that matter, as Pearson absolutely rips into one, but it's foul down the right field line. Headed towards the hitting center in right. Catches the roof, and it's still 3-2. Well, that was an explosive swing by Pearson.
Well, Pearson hunting a fastball. He got it up in the zone and just was a little out in front of it. He got the fastball the previous pitch, and as I told you, was a little bit out in front. That's when, if you're a pitcher, if you could control the too good of a hitter, he just gets the bat out, and he does not hit that one foul. He keeps it very much fair, and the Tigers are up 1-0.
Fans just like Josh Pearson knock it out of the park with LSU Online and continuing education. First LSU Online home run of the night. It's a 1-0 LSU lead here in the bottom of the third, and with 1 out, that will bring Stephen Milam to the plate. Pitch low for ball 1, 1-0.
Well, I hope somebody in right field brought their glove, Chris, because that was hit right into the stands, multiple rows up.
Well, they had plenty of time to get the glove if it wasn't on their hand. That one a mile high into the air. There's a strike to Milam, and it's 1-1. The 1-1 from Parrish. Upstairs missing now 2-1. And he just hasn't had the location. He's missed on a couple of occasions trying to get Steven to chase upstairs. And that one a fastball as you said, maybe visor high, and Milam stays away. 2-1. Here's the pitch. And that one just off the outside corner. A good take by Milam, and it's 3-1. Hitters count now for the sophomore out of Las Cruces, New Mexico.
That was a good changeup from Parrish. That's the pitch that as a pitcher you want it to be called a strike. As a hitter, you don't. Just a perfect spot, but a little low.
This one inside, too far inside, and it's ball 4. Parrish gives up his third base on balls, and with one out, Monster Milam heads to first, and we'll see Jake Brown come to the plate.
Delgado behind the plate for North Alabama. I don't think he was agreeing with home plate umpire Brian Hale too much on those last couple pitches. Kind of turned around and looked for confirmation as to, where were those pitches.
So Milam with a lead off of first. Parrish, the right-hander, looks over. Now comes Set. Working from the stretch, the pitch to Brown. And on the hands, and that one catches the corner with a fastball, and it's 0-1.
Milam does not have a stolen base on the year. He doesn't have an attempt either.
Brown steadies the bat. Parrish glances over to first. Now the 0-1 to the plate. Inside, gets away from Delgado, and that will allow Milam to easily reach down to second base. So with one out, the Tigers, another runner in scoring position here. Again, it wasn't an egregious pitch as much. Again, it was a left-handed batter, so Delgado had to kind of navigate Brown, his bat, and a pitch inside. But I'm going to rule that a wild pitch, and it allows Milam to reach second base. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jake Brown caught looking his first time up to Parrish. The pitch. Nice one under the hands, inside corner off speed, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, that pitch at 85, that's that cutter that we told you about. He'll throw the slider and the cutter. That cutter is mid-80s.
Setting up across the middle of the plate. Delgado takes the pitch, but it's first fouled. Attempts to take the pitch, but Brown fouls it towards the loge down the line in right, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. A reminder, fans, when the Tigers win, you win. Enter promo code LSU50 the day after an LSU baseball victory, and you'll receive 50% off your online pizza order at papajohns.com. Better ingredients, better pizza. You know it. It's Papa John's. Runner at second, 1 out, a 1-0 LSU lead. And the 1-2 to Brown. In the dirt, blocked up by Delgado. Milam thought about it, but Stephen quickly scampers back to the second base bag, and it's a 2-2 count to Brown. Josh Pearson got the Tigers on the board with a 1-out monster shot to right field. His first home run of the season, and it's a 1-0 ball game here. LSU would like to add more with Milam now in scoring position. See if Jake Brown can find something to hit.
Sometimes it's not about how hard you hit it, it's where you hit it. Jake Brown out in front, another fair down the right field line, and Jake Brown runs plenty good enough. He was bound, trades places with Milam, and the Tigers are still cooking here in the bottom of the third.
LSU still threatening. Brown at second base. Hernandez at the plate. The first pitch, slap, base hit into left field. It'll be fielded by Sherwood. They'll hold Brown up at third. So a single by Hernandez, his first hit of the night. The Tigers now with 2 runs on 5 hits and runners on the corners with 1 out. That'll bring Tanner Reeves to the plate.
The Tigers getting some good swings off of Parrish. Parrish all around the zone. They're starting to figure that out, being aggressive early. And they get a pitch over the white. That was a healthy cut by Hernandez.
So now we'll see Reeves, who had a single back in the second inning. Tigers starting to get solid contact off the starter, Bryson Parrish. Brown at third, Hernandez with a lead off first, and the throw over to first, as Hernandez only had about a 2-step lead off the base. Slides back safely.
Parrish and senior outfitter Jonathan Lane were named the North Alabama team captains for this year. Again, Parrish, their Friday night guy.
Just off the outside corner to the left-handed hitting Reeves, and it's 1-0.
They came into the game, North Alabama did, with a 3.91 team ERA, which is, this day and age, not horrible, under 4. It's doing pretty good.
1-0 inside, making 2 balls, no strikes.
And you talked about it, Chris. I mean, they they're 3-8, but their losses, they're in every game. Really, the only game they got semi-blown out was the UAB game. They lost 10-2, but got some nice wins and played two SEC teams, Tennessee and Auburn, very closely.
Reeves awaits. Runner goes to second. Big swing and a miss. Delgado will scoop it up, fake the throw to second. That will allow Hernandez into second base. So with one out now, runners second and third, and a 2-1 count to Tanner Reeves. And one of the things that has stood out so far for this LSU team, maybe differently in the first couple of seasons for Jay Johnson, is the aggressive nature of reading pitches down.
Well, that's why he's in the lineup. He's a guy that has power, put more power into this lineup. Tanner Reeves drives it out to right center. Good piece of hit.
Stanfield at the bottom of the order now, again with the bases clear after the 3-run homer. Just over the wall in right. First pitch missing to Stanfield. It's 1-0. Parrish fires. This one a strike. Say at the letters. Maybe caught the corner. Maybe they ruled Stanfield went around. Chris was trying to get out of the way. Nonetheless, it's a 1-1 count. There's a strike down the middle at the knees. And Parrish off speed. Gets ahead. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Pearson with the solo shot to make it 1-0. The double by Brown scoring Milam. As Stanfield reaches down, launches it to left field, but right at A.J. Sherwood. And he'll move to his left a couple of steps, make the play for the second out of the inning. 2 men aboard at second and third. The second LSU Online home run of the night to make it a 5-0 LSU lead. 5 runs on 6 hits now. To the top of the order we go. Derek Curiel, and now the Lions going to institute the defensive shift. They'll move Leighton Jenkins, the shortstop, to right of second base. Jonathan Lane just playing on the outfield grass in shallow right center. Hugging the line behind the bag is Petey Kraska at first. First pitch off speed, a strike to Curiel, and it's 0-1. Curiel tonight, a couple of walks in the first and in the second. Pitch is low, and it's now 1 ball, 1 strike.
A lot of good at-bats this inning. Even the outs have been hard. Stanfield, the previous hitter, hit that ball right on the button to left field.
1-1 misses off the plate outside. Now 2-1 to Curiel. Parrish, the 2-1 pitch. Curiel popped it up into center field. Coming in, Wilson settles under it, and he'll have it for out number 3. But the Tigers do some damage. 5 runs on 4 hits. They leave nobody on. It's a 5-0 LSU lead after 3. The plate leading things off will be Delgado, the catcher. Kate Anderson now back on the mound, starting his 4th inning of work. His Tigers give him a 5-0 lead thanks to a couple of home runs, a solo shot by Josh Pearson, a 3-run blast by Tanner Reeves, along with an RBI double from Jake Brown. The Tigers putting up 5 runs tonight so far on 6 hits. That one fouled down the first base line by Delgado, and it's 0-2. So Anderson works ahead early here. This one upstairs. Delgado stays away. Lions catcher 0 for 1. He grounded out to the shortstop Milam his first time up back in the first inning. The 1-2. That one down the middle for a called strike. Fastball in for Anderson. That will be a half dozen strikeouts on the night. And 1 gone here in the top of the 4th inning. It's a smash hit. It just made platinum status. Scratch your way to the top and play Hit 100 from the lottery. Hitting it big with $100 prizes. Must be at least 21 to purchase. See the first baseman, Petey Kraska, left-hander, grounded out to the second baseman, Dickinson, his first and only time up tonight. First pitch off speed and a strike from Anderson. It's 0-1.
You got to love Anderson coming out in the top of the 4th after his team gives him 5 runs in the bottom of the 3rd and going right at the 3-hole hitter. Got the meat of the order up for North Alabama.
Big swing, popped up in the air, foul, third base side. Reeves coming over, has room near the line, and he'll make the catch for the second out of the inning.
was right after the 4-hole hitter Kraska too, and that's what you want to see. Doug and I talk about that all the time from a momentum standpoint. You've got all the momentum now. In order to keep it, your pitcher needs to go out there and hang that goose egg the next half inning, and Anderson 1 out away from doing that.
We'll see Alex Wilson swing and a miss, and Anderson continues to work ahead. It's 0-1. The 0-1 sent back foul into the screen, and Anderson quickly ahead, 0-2.
Yeah, this is where you still want to pitch now. 0-2, you got 2 quick outs. Don't try to go right at him with an 0-2 count. Try to elevate a fastball or put that curveball in the dirt.
Ooh, just missing off speed there from Anderson, who thought maybe he'd get the call. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. A lot of faith in the umpire by Alex Wilson there. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Anderson fires. A late swing, but he got a piece to stay alive. Fouled right side. Still 1-2. Fans, Dudley DeBosier, they stand up for the purple and gold. They fight for Tiger fans all across Louisiana. Dudley DeBosier, proud to be an official partner of LSU Athletics. 5-0 LSU leads, top of the 4th. Nobody on, 2 outs and a 1-2 count to Alex Wilson, the right-handed hitter. Anderson's 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Blew it right by him at 94 miles an hour. Strikeout number 7 for Anderson. Makes quick work of the Lions here in the top of the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, nobody touches base. We go to the bottom of the 4th. LSU come. The Bear, Jared Jones, will lead it off for the Tigers here as we move to the bottom of the 4th inning. LSU leading 5-0 over North Alabama in Game 1. Jones takes the first pitch off speed from Bryson Parrish, and it's a called strike. It's 0-1. Jones tonight, a couple of fly ball outs to center field. Can the wind die down here after being a little breezy early on? Big swing, tough bounce, but right at the third baseman Loving. The throw a little behind the bag, but a nice stretch by Kraska to record the first out of the inning on the 5-3 ground out. So quickly 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th inning. LSU women's basketball making their debut in the SEC basketball tournament later this evening. In fact, just moments away from tip-off. Florida getting the win last night, advancing to take on the number 3 seed LSU Tigers in the SEC tournament. Game you can catch on 100.7 here in Baton Rouge. Patrick Wright. They tip off in just a few moments. Showing bunt will be Dickinson. He'll pull it back, the pitch outside, and it's 1-0.
Yeah, Dickinson comes into the game, has found his groove.